What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Shop Live. I'm Rickytatt. This is my boy Jared.
What's going on, guys?
Today we got some cool tats going on. I'm working on his sleeve today. We're actually darkening it up. He's getting it summer ready. He came to me and says, hey, I'm gonna be in the beach. I'm gonna be in the lake. Just want it darker, you know, so it can last long, because, you know, the sun can beat up a tattoo. But anyways, we're gonna be doing some of this. You guys will see some of the cool stuff that we're gonna be doing on it. We got 3 artists working today. Joshade's working on some cool flower design with some crispy line work. Johnny's doing a lion on the calf area, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So stay tuned. We out.
So today we are working on a cover-up of an old tattoo that she got lasered. So we decided to do, since she lined it up a lot, we're able to do a lot more line work. Cause I know a lot of people try to come in here and try to get like a tattoo that like they have line work and then they try to do more line work on top of it. It doesn't work. So the way she did it was actually right. She got it lasered and now we're able to do it.
Basically, we had went for realism with the first tattoo, but I realized I didn't really like that style, so I got it lined up, and now we're doing the line work, which is more my style. So
right up Josh's alley.
His favorite.
I was telling her this is these kind of tattoos are more stressful for me than like full big realism pieces.
Yeah. Why?
Because you can mess up in so many ways. You go just a little bit too deeper with these thin needles, it could blow out the whole skin and just destroy the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have to be very precise. I'm right now, I'm doing a whole like progression of the piece on my story on Instagram. Follow me. So I'm explaining basically like, so the way I start my pieces, I know a lot of people on Instagram, they see how people tattoo and they go like full just straight and then they have a nice solid line. I don't like doing that. What I like to do is I like to build up my line. So I start off really, really thin, like a sketch, and then from there I'll decide where I want it to be thicker and where I want it to be thinner, and that's what really helps me push things back and forth. So the thicker the line is, the more it's going to stand out, and that's exactly what we're going to do right here. The good thing about this too, after, or not the good thing, but like the badass thing about this is that we're going to do pepper shading. So it's going to be like a little stippling to really bring
for, you know, maybe myself and maybe anyone at home watching. How do you study those windbreaks?
Oh, the windbreaks?
Yeah.
So that's just a work in progress, man. Like, I seen them being done by other artists, and I thought that's like a super cool way of making something flow from one image to the other without making it look like it's a sticker. Because if I remove these and then just put the rose and then just stacked the cherub, the angel, whatever you can call it, if I stacked it in the back, then yeah, you know, that would look cool too. But just a simple like design, I stenciled the rose and then I did the cherub, and then with marker work I just kind of just ran it, right? And as through time you just keep practicing, it'll start giving you better flow. At first, you know, my confidence in making these skin breaks with markers wasn't as good. But if you keep studying and just checking out how other artists do it, eventually you start getting your own design, and you just gotta trust it. And then it's a matter of tattooing it and making these these little breaks nice and crispy. You know, it's tricky because you don't want to create a line. The idea is that you don't want a line, right? I mean, you see a little bloodline there, but a bloodline is with, there's no ink, but that's my guideline, because this doesn't have a stencil, to just shade off of it.
Line your windbreaks?
No, I never outline them just for this particular one because we're going darker. I did, but I hardly ever line them.
Even with the light or extra light?
No, I really try not to. I just try to line them with the mag. It just, because the mag needles, they're not as crisp as a line. You can get them like looking like a line, but over time they're gonna spread out, so that gives it the effect of a wind.
What you got there?
Just studying.
You know, what you got there? What's that?
Oh, this is an iPad, bro. iPad Pro.
You got an iPad?
Yeah.
What?
And if someone's trying to be slick, look. Oh, this is just a book.
Oh, look at you. How do you feel about this guy getting an iPad?
Impressed, very impressed.
Nice.
Investment for sure. It's an investment.
That means he's listening to our tips, you know. So yeah, he came to us a couple days ago and told us that he just got it. We're like, what? So that shows that he wants it. Tell him, dog. Tell him where you got it.
So the reason I got it. No, I was trying to think of something funny to say, but no. In reality,
Because he's lazy and don't want to draw. And if he messes up,
I could just double.
you could just double the layer, move it over.
No, but in reality, a lot of people are hitting me up for like designs and stuff, and I couldn't do it with my old tablet just because it was kind of outdated and stuff. And then plus this has Procreate. I'm able to like just do things like this, you know, like little digital painting. Doing a little study right now. Also, when I go live, I can like now see who comments on my live and stuff, you know, instead of like checking my phone every like 5 minutes. So yeah, that's cool.
So it's an investment.
Definitely an investment for sure. Yeah.
So he's taking our tips. We're very impressed. That means he's listening. It's the modern day notebook right there. If you don't have this iPad in your arsenal for tattoo artists, you're gonna be behind, man. Now he's gonna be able to put a lot of badass images together fast, show his clients.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. The other day I was doing a Chucky piece on my boy, and then I used this for the first time to stencil it out, and then we put it on him, and then Josh recommended that I go bigger. So usually when I'm like hand stenciling, that means I would have to print out another image and hand stencil it, and that'd take like what, another 30 minutes. Whereas like I have the tablet now and I could just print it out again, resize it, and then boom, run it through the scanner.
So it came in clutch.
Yeah, it came in clutch. Right?
That's what I told him. I was like, well, you're gonna have to retrace it another half hour. You're gonna lose that energy. But then he remembered he had the iPad, and so he just doubled it up. And would it take like 10 minutes too?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Even my boy, because he knows I usually hand stencil things. So he was like, oh, was that quick? Because he thought I was gonna have to like redo the whole thing. So.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So already on his first day, he already saved some time, which equals to saving money, and he can make money faster, and he can tattoo longer, make bigger pictures instead of, make bigger tattoos instead of wasting a lot of time on the design. The iPad cuts your time in half, so definitely. iPad 12, right?
Yeah, 12.9.
12.9, bro, not 12.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what it said.
See? check out what he's working on right now. Look at that. Artist, here's another tip. If you're a tattoo artist and you're not that busy, right? I've been talking to him too about this. Here's another tip that I tell Romeo so that he prepares for the future. If you are not busy this day and you don't have a client for today, don't waste it by just being on social media or just not doing anything. Work towards the future. So what I tell him is, why don't you draw something that can possibly be a tattoo in the future? So I told him, how about he did a Sacred Heart?
Yeah, Sacred Heart.
He did a Sacred Heart first and it came out dope, and he was able to tattoo it like within a week. So I told him do something else, so like a praying hand. So now he's working on some praying hands like this. So what this does is, he can show it on his social media that he's working on it, and he could say that, he wants to tattoo this. So somebody might want some praying hands in the future, so he can book it a week or two from now. If he does 2 or 3 of these, he can start building up his week with clients, and then that shows an artist being more productive and more busy. So there's more time being posted on his social media, and then more people are gonna see that he just tattooed this. They're gonna want this, maybe with script, they're gonna want it with a dove. So it all builds from that. So you always gotta be working towards the future and not just waste. If you don't have a client this day, don't go home and just hope that somebody else is gonna come. Just work towards that future. So that's a tip that he's taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Plus, yeah, and also, what was it? Or back to the Sacred Heart, when I drew it, when I got to tattoo it, it almost felt like just like comfortable doing it. I wasn't stressing at all just because I drew it. It was like my own design almost. So
because you remember the lines, right? You remember when you were doing the certain lines.
Or even the shading.
Even the
shading.
shading.
I remember shading this way. Let me just approach it that way instead of overthinking. So.
Instead of overthinking or actually like just attacking it without having any practice on prior to that design. So it works both ways, guys.
Is this the hot seat? Is this a double?
This is a double hot seat today.
Right here?
Yeah.
That what's going on?
Yeah, we gotta test this man.
All right, so my question that I was wondering, for example, Chucky, or no, I've drawn Chucky. Another design that I haven't drawn. How do you go into it feeling more comfortable, even though you've never drawn something like that before?
I mean, if you book it 2 or 3 weeks ahead, then I would draw it. It'll make that tattoo even better. But if it's gonna be the next day, that's why I was saying you gotta draw a lot of different stuff. Everything that you think. I mean, you've been here for almost a year, right? Over a year. Mm-hmm. So you hear the constant images that people want, from clocks to pocket watches to doves, lions. That's what you should be drawing because it's coming to you in the future. So you shouldn't be drawing like a car, because I mean we hardly ever do any cars or something else. So just play in your mind what clients come in and ask for, and just start drawing them, because eventually they're gonna be the designs you're gonna be tattooing. So Yeah. For instance, like the Chucky, you drawn one before, right? But if you didn't, you would have known that the stitching should look darker in certain areas to make it pop from the face or something. Or maybe the stitching you want to make it look like real into the skin, but you've never drawn it, so you don't know how to soften it up. But if you would have softened up the edges where the stitching goes into the skin, then that would have been like a practice for you, and then you can just do it with the tattoo. So
right on.
So you gotta always draw. I mean, if you're in here and you're not tattooing, you should be drawing everything. You should be drawing the cameraman recording us. You should be drawing the logo, the hat, how it sits on his head, how take a picture of his headphones, how they sit on his head, because maybe you're gonna draw one like that in the future. Like, you never know. So draw.